Hi, this is EE2TV. Interviews the most talented, the best, the dopest, the coolest artists on the block, in the city, in the country. We're in the Netherlands. And this time it is Curtis Millen. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to me.
Yeah, welcome to you. I had so much problems doing this intro that he almost did the intro. But hey, you're the one being interviewed. Welcome. You are one of the most funky, talented artists in the city of Rotterdam, but you're not even from Rotterdam.
No, I'm originally from Belfast in the north of Ireland.
And you came to the Netherlands because
It was
of the weather.
initially, I was working on a data center for Google, just outside Groningen.
Okay.
Like I used to work as like a construction manager, managing a quality manager, managing like 120, 130 guys, going around and telling people who've done like their job for 30 years, being like, hey, excuse me, what you're saying isn't right because this piece of paper says so. So it was a very confrontational job, and because I used to work as a security man as well, like in nightclubs, that they thought I was fit for it.
Oh, so they made you do the sucky parts of the job. They were like, well, you take the risks. We'll tell you how to take these risks.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then basically 2020, I was offered like a higher position managing kind of like the software they used to run that part of the job.
Okay.
Did that for a year. In the middle of that, like had a really bad burnout and also had like an episode of like THC-induced psychosis as well that took a while to recover from.
Really?
And all the meanwhile, in the middle of my 20s, like music was on the side.
But why was it on the side?
Because I sang in church back home as a kid.
Okay.
And then at 8 years old, I got really shy and didn't sing in public for 14 years.
Really?
So my first time singing again was actually like, I was working as a doorman in the local club. The singer was on, and I used to stand there to keep people away from like knocking over his PA.
Okay.
And he was singing, you know, like My Girl, and I was just singing along with him. And he gave me the mic, and then he was like, "Okay, what do you want to sing?" I was like, "Papa was a Rolling Stone." Sang that, and people were like, "Oh, the doorman can sing."
Oh, wow. But hold on. So people obviously don't know, but I met you during a Monday Night Jam that we do with Epitome Entertainment. You don't seem like a shy guy at all. Like you're this party, throwing, dancing, killing it on stage performer. That's crazy. Like I'm so shocked to hear.
Yeah, that it was just like, I remember even just, I was really big into Michael Jackson as a kid.
Right.
And the Jacksons, and I just got like a new like Jackson 5 CD, and I moved to a new neighborhood, and it was all like skater kids, and I was like brought in one of the local kids like that I thought was a friend, brought him in, was like listening to the CD in my room and singing along to it while I was listening, and then I went onto the street the next day, and I was being mocked about singing, and I was like, oh, I've got shy. So even like I didn't sing in the house anymore if people were in. I used to like wait, everyone was away, and then I'd go and sing in my room, and I did that for years.
And so when the person heard you sing along and gave you the mic, what made you decide to be like, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and...
I like when I was working on some like different design jobs in construction, like I started listening to old school soul and funk through hip hop. Like I was big into Ice Cube and Method Man, and I was like, you know, the lyrics are good, but they're not relatable for me as an Irish man.
Right. And white at that.
I don't really relate to these people in Compton that much, except for some struggles, but not all, you know?
You didn't have the bouncing car? No crib walks? Like.
Yeah, no gin and juice at the age.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, okay, but I'm really into the music. And then that's how I discovered Stevie Wonder and James Brown just by looking at what the samples were.
Okay, hold on. But so you went... Gin and Juice and Dr. Dre and all of them, and then Stevie Wonder?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It was hip hop and then into funk and soul.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then one day I was like just sitting on YouTube while I was working, like listening to new songs, and I listened to a guy called Teddy Pendergrass, and I started singing along to that, and I was like, oh, this is where my voice is now, because I used to be all like falsetto as a kid,
right?
And I was like, okay, my voice is deeper.
Yeah.
It's different now. And so just listening to that and like things like Papa was a Rolling Stone, I was like, I've found a new way to express myself in these songs.
Right.
And then just that night that I was handed the mic just happened to be like the same day, I think, that the guy, I can't remember the name now, but you know the guy that sings like "Don't Look Any Further," Dennis Edwards, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that "Don't Look Any Further."
Oh yeah, of course. I know the song. Yeah.
So like he passed away that day, so I was like, okay, let me do that song.
Wow, as a tribute.
Yeah, and then that got me started on stage.
Okay,
again.
so now you're the singing doorman.
Yeah.
And then you move over here. What made you go back to music a little? Because now it's like you do it full time.
Yeah, but like pretty much, yeah. You know, it was on the side, and like I was just working away through my 20s, you know, and I thought like I need to at least give myself 6 months to a year to try music full time. Just and in full time, it doesn't mean that, you know, every day I'm earning money with it, but every day I'm investing myself in doing something with it. Whether that's practicing, performing, recording, writing, or even just listening.
Of course.
And yeah, when I kind of came out of that burnout phase and going like getting around the psychosis thing and all that, I got to the end of it, and I really didn't know what to do with myself when I was on a call with my bosses at the time, because I was in with a small company working in under a big company. And I told them at the start, like, at some point I'm going to go off and start doing music.
Right.
And they were like, what do you want to do? And I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to go back and start studying like mechanical engineering or electrical engineering, because there's good money in that, and I want to just understand how things work. And one of the bosses was like, just do the music thing.
Right.
Just go off and do the music thing. So
Wow,
I'd saved up enough money to go off and travel, and started actually doing proper singing lessons for a while. And that's kind of how I found my way down here. I was told by a friend, actually Kevin Bokomo, to like explore the south.
Right.
Because nothing was happening in Groningen. So
Of course.
yeah. And that's how I ended up in
Rotterdam.
Yeah.
Wow. And so if you can choose one major thing that you want to achieve in the next year when it comes to music, what would that be?
Oh, definitely a lot more festivals for my 9-piece band, for my original music.
9-piece band?
Yeah.
You're not making any money with
Well,
a 9-piece band.
True, kind of, but it's about...
True.
It's about...
It's great music,
it's
though.
about the sense of fulfillment,
Right,
you know?
I understand.
I've done those gigs where it's like... you're making the money, but you're feeling empty, you know.
Right.
And with this, it's feeling fulfilled, doing things full fat, like they complement my voice and the way I perform. And I do understand that it's harder to get bookings, but that, and at least getting 1 or 2 TV appearances, whether it be here or back home.
Okay,
You know, that's what my eyes are. That's what my sight's on.
All right.
Yeah.
And what is something that you want everybody to know about you as an artist that you didn't tell me yet, but you're like, yo, if you think about me, think about this?
I'm funky as hell.
Yes, you really are.
Yeah.
I can attest to that. It's true.
And
guys.
if you don't know, get to know, you know?
Get to know you.
Yeah.
So where can we find you on social media? Where can we find you on Spotify? People need to get familiar with you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Curtis Millenneum. You can find me on my website, you know, curtismillen.com. You can find me on Spotify, Curtis Millen. I've got a song out at the minute. I'm going to have another one coming out in January, and just like a heap of stuff next year.
Okay, and what are you going to be doing with EE2TV Presents? Because you're singing a song for us too.
That'll be my song Driver's Seat that came out in September. You know, it's about to get very funky, very loud, very quick.
Okay. I know we got to do this before people go to sleep, because this studio is like sort of around a lot of apartments. So yeah, once you start singing, they're gonna the neighbors gonna be like, hey, and they're not even gonna be mad. They're gonna be like, who is this funky guy singing over here? Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us. I can't wait to hear the song, and we'll present it on EE2TV. Thank you, Curtis.
All right, thanks for having me.
You're welcome.